is.
All right. So we are going to have a quick conversation right now and then come back and continue with what's happening in our little trending segment, because we have a gentleman who's been doing something. We were speaking about taking things online,
That's
as we
right.
did with Ken Samry earlier, and Mr. Chak is one of those guys. So let's cross over to him now. Good morning, Mr. Chak.
Hi, greetings. How you guys doing?
Very well,
Very well,
very well. And you have an event coming up. But before we get into that, tell us what has been happening with you during the quarantine period.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been a challenging, strange period of adjustment and readjustment. But, closer to the start of the whole lockdown period for us here, specifically in Trinidad, I think it would have been around March 20th or 21st or so. I decided to start a weekly online series actually called, which I entitled Quarantine Quotas, live from the living room, where I turned part of my living room into this, this little area where I am, just me and my guitar, and I decided to start presenting works that I pull out of, our Trinbagonian musical landscape, because I was kind of concerned with some of the conversations and the feedback I was seeing taking place, when they decided to implement some of these lockdown measures. I thought that a lot of the conversation was counterproductive to where we should have been focusing. So I just decided to use my platform and use my craft and my talent and, to kind of inject what I thought was some positive counteraction to what was happening and what was being discussed. I thought we were out of focus. And I felt like, our music and our artists over the years have done so well in reminding us who we are and who we ought to be, especially during times of tribulation and challenge, And so that was where Quarantine Quota started. And, yeah.
Is it something now that is becoming something big, I think, that you have now an event?
Well, actually, from the beginning, it kind of surprised me how people reacted to it, because by the first one, after the first week, I started off doing my cover version of Shadows One Love.
Right.
And with all the songs that I presented, I started with cover versions and then eventually graduated to presenting some of my own original work. But with each of them, I kind of reharmonize and, bring them in a different kind of feel and style that I think would have made them more potent. And from the very first one, they started being featured on couple radio stations. As a matter of fact, at the second week, one of your colleagues, Raucus, actually called me in and did an interview and featured some of the stuff on Talk City.
Yeah. So tell us what's happening this weekend. I think you're having an event this weekend.
This weekend, I'm having an online concert. It has culminated into Quarantine Quotas, the Acoustic Live Cyber Jam. So,
Cyber Jam.
Yeah, so it's going to be myself along with percussionist Ajibola, who would have been interviewed on your station before.
Yeah.
It's actually going to be hosted by Raucus,
Nice.
And so Sunday we're going live from my Facebook page. So everybody out there, if you're not following Mr. Shaka already, go to Facebook, look for me now, MISTAHSHAK, and like and follow the page so you'll get the alerts. But Sunday at 5:30 p.m.,
yes,
we're going live for a full-length concert. When I say full-length, it will be about an hour, 15 minutes, because, if I pull out more than that, if I started to do all my songs, we might go till Monday, but,
But it's this Sunday, 5:30
Yes, this
PM.
Sunday, 5:30, and we also inviting people to, because, it's been a challenging time for us artists, Lisa especially, because all of our spaces where we usually present our craft and able to earn has been shut down and still under restrictions.
So do you have a crowdfunding platform that you allowing people to go on?
So I'm using FundMe TNT.
Right.
So you will find all the information on my page, or you could go to FundMe TNT and look for the campaign. Mr. Shak's Quarantine Quotas Live Acoustic Cyber Jam. So you could do that with your credit cards, and for those who don't want to do the credit card thing, you can make direct deposits to FCB account 2019942.
Yes.
Which is in the name of Selvon, SELVON, Anson, ANSON, Noel, NOEL. So that's for people who choose not to do the credit card thing.
All right. Well, all success on Sunday. I'm sure it's going to be off the chain. I love the name Cyber Jam. Yeah,
Yes,
I love it.
we'll have
Quarantine
acoustic
Quota,
cyber
Cyber
jam.
Jam. Thank you so much, Mr. Shaq,
Thank
and
you very much. Thanks
congratulations,
for giving me the
Stephen.
platform. I appreciate it.
All right,
Yeah, take
wonderful.
care.
Okay, wonderful. Exciting. You see people finding creative ways.
Yeah, you know, I just
make
love the
money.
way that people are becoming a little more creative and innovative. On top of being already creative, you know, he's a Calypsonian, so you know he creates music
Yeah.
and all.